news. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites.
No, it's not about the
Welcome back. It's still open conversation on Atlantic Television Network. I have with me this morning Mr. Jackson Leko Ojo, a political analyst.
It's my pleasure.
And on to the stories. River State Governor Simlaye Fubara has assured the people of the state that his administration will collaborate and continue to consult widely in delivering a liberated state experiencing enduring peace. The governor said in doing so, he would not operate as a dictator, but as a member of a team that has the best interests of the state at heart and is determined to leave a lasting legacy that can be celebrated. The governor spoke during the presentation of the Certificate of Recognition and Staff of Office to the Amnayabo of Okochiri Kingdom, Ateke Michael Tom, as first-class traditional ruler at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. This was contained in a statement issued in Port Harcourt by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Nelson Chukwudi. Let me start with you, Mr. Samuel. The statement by the Governor that he will not operate as a dictator. What do you make of that statement?
Yeah, I think it's a good one. It's actually beautiful for the governor to make the people of River State understand that their fears are allayed, actually. Because, you know, the immediate past administration, though there are lots of good things they do that administration did in River State, but people had the impression that perhaps the governor was a little high-handed in the way he handled things. But
Mr. Leko, do you think this is a necessary statement at this time in River State's polity, coming from the governor?
Yeah, it's a necessary statement. It's normal. The governor is just expressing to the people of River State the kind of governor and the kind of yeah, exactly. So But for example, if there is no crisis there is no dispute between him and the former governor, I don't think anybody will see any reason to suspect that he was actually attacking the former governor. He has no business with whatever the former governor, the way the former governor acted.
Necessary.
That mean he was going to run an open and all-inclusive government. It's as simple as that. But if Yoruba say if you hit the rod in your hand on the mud, whosoever that the thing splash on should bear it. It's as simple as ABC.
Why are you laughing, Mr. Samuel?
Well, I think that Yoruba adage is apt, but at the same time, what the governor is doing is to let people know that he's a Democrat, and that's what people want.
Yes.
Because see, politics is dynamic. It's dynamic. When you are at the helm of affairs, you do everything to get the people. You know, you have a point. But the situation in Rivers State right now is one that I think takes care of most of the things you talked about, which should be the question on the minds of people. Projects are actually being flagged off, and projects are being commissioned. If Atlantic Network TV wants me to make it available to them, you know, projects that the governor has commissioned, the ones he has flagged off, and the ones that are going on, of course, we can do that. But now, in the area you mentioned agriculture, and that's, of course, a very major concern right now, the need for food security. The governor just came up with a policy that's being discussed. I heard them that has come into public purview about food safety, You know, when we're talking about food security, we also consider food safety, which is very important.
I've seen other people in other markets who have decided to sell at inflated prices to crash the prices of food. Not just that, the Lagos State government also entered an agreement, a partnership with a northern state, Kebbi State, to produce food for them. And from there, they service these food banks to ensure that the people of Lagos State have food and they are not hungry. And to a large extent, that takes care of insecurity. To a large extent, and restiveness in the state. Now, when you look at a lot of this is just one or two out of so many projects that Governor Samuel is flagging up in Lagos State to ensure, to a large extent, that the effect of this high cost of living, insecurity, and food crisis is mitigated in the state. Now, when you look at the increased FAC allocation being received by states, Rivers State is not left out. What has the governor done with these monies? Because at this point, that's why I'm asking this question. At this point, are statements like this necessary? Or like they forget the comparative analysis I just made with Lagos State and the increased FAC allocation? Over to you, Mr. Leko.
To be factual and as a realist, Governor Simpubara has not done much. As I'm sitting down here, I don't think, apart from the ring road, which was even awarded by the former governor, I have not seen any or heard of any, or maybe these 20,000 housing, whatever. But to me, in the life of this administration,
signing off projects, flagging off, commissioning projects, flagging off projects, because at this point in time, the essence of governance, away from politics, the essence of governance is for the people, right?
Yes.
And if the people are rooting for you,
the House of Assembly, the former budget, he inherited it from the former governor. His own budget now for budget for year 2024 is still.
But he's spending from the budget. Is he not operating from the budget?
I think he's operating from the budget.
So how
but
does
I
that
think,
stop? How does that
but
stop
I think he's very careful.
All right.
You understand? See, let us face the fact. See, Fubara is not as free as any other governor. The way they are free in this country today. See, Fubara is not very free.
Okay.
You understand? There's external forces within the internal.
But he has the red pen.
But they have the red pen.
So he should make use of the red pen.
We are expecting him to make use of the red pen, but I believe there are so many things he cannot achieve without the House of Assembly.
Okay. And that includes projects in the state?
From which budget?
From
which budget? Do you know the budget on ground? Do you know the budget?
I had asked you.
The budget on ground now is people are still contending it in the court of law.
So now the FAC allocation that comes in is being saved in River State Treasury.
I may not know.
All right.
I'm not part of his government.
Okay.
But I have told you for you to know that I'm not speaking for him.
Yeah,
I don't like his pattern of governance.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
He is not really acting, he is not really utilizing the power as a governor.
Okay.
And possibly that is part of what is affecting this project and other things we are talking about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's too cool to be a governor.
Okay. Quickly, Mr. Samuel.
Yes, quickly, I would like to put some records straight.
All right.
Like my brother said, we are not, this program is not about us talking for Fubara. Of course, we are not doing that. We are not his operatives, in government. But the Ring Road project, everybody seems to be talking about the Ring Road project. They were closed down for maybe upgrade or something like that. He came, he did the upgrade, commissioned it for them to come on stream, equipped them as well. Now, there is also the issue of about 500 people he has approved to be employed by the state's health management board. And of course, the civil service employment that is, of course, been on hold for a while. And so all these things, there are several projects. Maybe I can't remember all of them now, or I can't talk about all of them now because I'm not speaking for him. But we will agree that despite the political upheaval, backroom of Pune State is a Yoruba man. And is it of the Odua or something like that?
Oduduwa.
Oduduwa. They are descendants of Oduduwa. I would like to make reference to a man that I respect so much. I have so much respect for Chief Obafemi Awolowo. When he was active, when he was alive and active, I believe, to my mind, I believe that Chief Obafemi Awolowo happened to be one of the most intelligent politicians that have been here. When we talk about politics, maybe there are just about one or two of them. Okay, and Chief Awolowo happens to be one of them. And if you check the activities of Awolowo and how he brought about the development of the Yoruba nation, which is actually the most developed ethnic nationality or region in Nigeria, it is his style. He knew it. He understands the way the Africans think, so to say. And he knew it that if you want to make an impact in Nigeria, make an impact with your people. And he did something to develop the Yoruba nation. And I believe it or not, I want to say that most of the developments that came, maybe had a similar, that was similar to what Awolowo did, was as a result of what he did. So people were like put in prison under the Buhari regime. That one was good for the cause, whatever they wanted to achieve. Yeah, the agitation, exactly, thank you, the agitation. Now when he was released, he had some time in Igbo land. This is where I say that the leading lights of Igbo land, the leading light, the people that were supposed to, the governors, members of the Ohanese nation.
Of course.
So that is what I think he is trying to communicate. And that's where I think that the governors then, they failed woefully. Members of the Ohanese Ndigbo, they failed. They did not engage this young. If they had engaged him, the man wouldn't be in prison today. And Buhari would have monopoly of wisdom. I can do something, somebody can be on a course, he thinks he is right. Maybe because of the hoopla, of the hunger song, maybe a lot of people are saying, yes, we support you, we support you. But those who have had a better experience, who are better experienced, can now sit back and say, young man, come, this is the way we'll go about it. What we want right now is this, not this one. If we go here with us, very much here with us, in fact, they are actually grown bigger and stronger.
Right.
And better at their strategies. So you have to stay ahead of your time.
All right. So it was all about the economy of the Biafra.
That's what...
30th of the month. Sale of forms scheduled between April 3 and April 10 is now slated from Wednesday, March 27 to the 3rd of next month. Again, the screening of aspirants hitherto scheduled for April 19 and 20 will now hold between 11th and 12th of the month, while Delegates Congress has been brought back from April 22 to April 15. Party, you feel the weight in Ondo State, but to a large extent, there has been a very deafening silence from the angle of the federal. And who are they? A lot of them have interest, but...
Yes. What is the name of this man? Jim Ibrahim? Yeah, he's one of the aspirants. And one of the aspirants just died.
Yes.
Yes, and there are still a lot of them jostling for the office. And that is their party issues. It's their party private problem, if there's any problem there. And when you say federal, what do you expect federal to come and do there? There is party management in Ondo State.
Edo State, didn't the federal speak loudly?
No, the federal. No.
He said he's standing behind them. Like the federal said, we are standing behind you, like wall of Gibraltar, coming from the president himself.
No. Why they were so, you understand? The activities were so pronounced in Edo State with that. It is the opposition party that is ruling in Edo State. It is their party that is ruling in Ondo State. You understand? They are more concerned about, they believe now that with the, yes, you are like, a lot of people may still want to have sympathy because of the love they have for that man to sympathize with him and to vote for his party. You understand? Yes. But in Edo State, they have been, it is the PDP that is ruling there. You understand? And the only time they came out through prominently was when the governor of Imo State was appointed as the chairman of the primary something, and they saw that there was conspiracy between Opusodima and the former governor, Adam Osumole, and it was so pronounced. And they know that with that crisis to continue,
came out to slam and called her a serpent.
That is it. For you to know that
there is acrimony.
I hear that why it's not even part of that structure. Again, you understand? To me, Mr. President knows who is going to support if he wants to support.
Well, Mr. President has not spoken yet.
He has not spoken yet. But some of all, don't forget I'm a chieftain of that party.
Okay.
You understand? And don't forget that it's a Southwest,
and
where I have capacity.
Pushing the
yes, that will definitely not get the ticket of the party. That's the incumbent governor. He won't get the ticket of APC in Ondo State.
Okay.
There is no magic about it. But I wouldn't tell you who will get it. But I know who will get the ticket.
You know who will get the
ticket? I know who will get the ticket.
All right. Interesting.
Who will get the ticket now is in the Senate.
It's in the Senate.
Yes. So.
And yet the person has not in any way come out clearly to show
the body language.
Mr. What do you say you doubt it?
I doubt
you doubt that he loves it?
His body language.
His body
Mr. Lekon just said that he knows, that he knows who will get the ticket, and that definitely it will not be Aiyedatiwa. Well, I will not speak for the APC. I'm not in their party, but I think it goes to confirm what we have been telling Nigerians, that the APC is a party that does not really run a good deal of internal democracy, because if it is like that, primaries have not been conducted, the chieftains of the party cannot tell Nigerians that definitely it will not be this man. you know, to know. But that's okay. It's politics. It's Nigerian politics. But I think that in Ondo State, for me, I like to always stand with the people. If the people of Ondo State and eventually becomes dictatorial, but when you remove him, do you have you don't have an option. That is to say, of course, we know she was talking about people who can work with the British government. Yeah. So this, but for us here, if a governor is thrown up by the way we play our own politics, and that governor is going to work for the people, so be it.
All right.
Yes, that's my interest.
Okay.
I love his
mistake.
Yeah, because I said something sometimes ago. I think it's my own language. I say contractocracy. A kind
socio-cultural group Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide has reiterated its call for restructuring of the country and creation of additional states in the southeast. The President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Chief Emmanuel, Development with Wisdom, on Wednesday in Enugu. Iwanyanwu, who said Ohaneze was not happy with the 1999 constitution as amended, called for restructuring of Nigeria where power would devolve from federal government to state government. This, he said, would help the states have a reasonable autonomy to develop at their own pace without any hindrance from the federal government. Mr. Samuel, yes, the Ohaneze Ndigbo calling for more creation of states for Southeast. That's one, and then the restructuring and devolving of power from the central.
Okay, the Ohaneze, you know, I have a thing or two against those people because I think they are not representing their people well. Okay. You know, I just mentioned one man here, one man who was able to, with the fact that he was honest, he had sincerity of purpose. No, I mentioned Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
Oh, yes.
He was able to galvanize other people. He even walked up to Edo State, up to Delta State. Men like Alfred Rewane, they worked with him.
Yes.
He was able to gavel it. Akwa Ibom State, go to sleep. We can see the people, the governors can come together, form a hub. It has the federal government has never been against things like that, and that is why it is happening in what do you call it? It's happening in the western region. It may be because of insecurity and all that. It's no longer very apparent now, but it was happening. There was a time when I was a little boy, I used to see everything I pick. If it is canned food, if it is candy, if it is anything, I will see Ilupeju Industrial Estate. I ask myself, Ohaneze, they have work to do. It's not this talk shop if they are ready to assist their people.
Okay, but let's look at the nitty-gritty of this particular conversation, which is creation of extra states for the Southeast. Do you think it is a right call? And do you think it will balance the equation?
It is okay, but borrowed a little from what he has said. There are 5 states now, and see how they could resolve this within the 5 states. Let there be peace without any form of acrimony. Let there be economic transformation. Let there be good relationship between all the Igbos. All those things are not there. They are demanding for another state. Demanding for another state now, yeah, is their right. Because every other state has 6, every other zone has 6 states, apart from Northwest, there are 7 states, and these people have 5 states.
So why should Southeast have 5 states?
When they were creating, where were they? All these things, all this creation of this state were not done by one man. Say one man just woke up. People agitated for it. People agitated.
But
people agitated for it.
Years,
yes.
Part of the agitation of the Igbos, part of the agitation of the IPOB, isn't it for situation for issues like this, creation of more states, balance it politically.
You have guests in your living room. Let me put this way: you have guests in your living room. They are suffocating. Heat, no form of ventilation at all, and you are inviting more guests. Let the people, it's their right, but the 5 states they have on ground, let them go and work, and let there be peace and progress.
I call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human traffickers.
Honourable
You understand.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said, there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still open conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has requested for the reinstatement of the suspended Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, representing the Bauchi Central Senatorial District. Ningi was suspended on the 12th of March 2024 by the Senate for alleging that the 2024 budget was padded with 3 trillion naira. Falana, who is Ningi's defense counsel, accused Akpabio of violating his client's fundamental right to fair hearing. He advised Akpabio to lift Ningi's suspension or be reported to the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. The human rights lawyer who made this appeal known to pressmen disclosed that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, caused his client to be put on trial before the Senate on March 14. In a letter dated March 25, 2024, addressed to Akpabio, Falana opined that Akpabio pronounced his client Ningi guilty and suspended him. Mr. Leko Ojo, what is your take on the budget padding, the whole debacle that happened thereafter, and then Falana now calling on Akpabio to restate Ningi?
I think it is within the right of Abdul Ningi, representing the Bauchi Central Senatorial District, to raise an alarm. Even me here, that I'm not a member of the Senate, if there's any information that I had, to raise alarm. And when I raise alarm, I don't think the next thing is crucifying him. No. Abdul Ningi raised an alarm. And I don't think Abdul Ningi should be crucified the way he did. Because first thing I was expecting, when I heard that thing, first thing I was expecting the leadership of the Senate to call in the ICPC, to call in the FCC, to come and probe into the allegation being raised by Abdul Ningi. It's not for them to ignore all those ones, no external investigation, no internal investigation, nothing. The next thing is to just call a preliminary, what do they call them? Yes. And instantly, people started suggesting 1 year suspension, 6 months suspension. It now looked like if he was lenient, that the Senate President, and said 3 months suspension. And since after that suspension, they believe that matter is dead, as to do. So to me, the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under Senator Godswill Akpabio did a very wrong thing by suspending this guy. Senator Dina Melari was suspended some times ago. But up to the Supreme Court issue another. Supreme Court ruling is not just honorary ruling, it's a court of policy. Their pronouncement is a law of its own. And he said the National Assembly should find another ways of discipline their erring members, but not to suspend. After all, who are the senators? The senators are those people that have gone there to represent the interest of their entire senatorial district. Do you know there are some senatorial districts in Nigeria today that is bigger than a particular state? There are some senatorial districts that have about 10 local government. Bayelsa State has just 8 local government. You understand? And what is the fate of this senator and 10 local government with 1 senator? They are all equal. But where some people are taking 2 billion, 200 billion, some people are taking 20 million. Is it because I'm a ranking senator? Does that make me more superior to your own senatorial district? All the senatorial districts are equal. But you see a lot of things, a lot of confession, a lot of discussion that went on the floor of the Senate. Honestly, it is a very shameful something. But I know at the end of the day, it won't end this way. At the end of the day, Abdul Ningi will be reinstated all his full benefit and other things.
You made a statement. You said the Senate was a bit in a hurry to suspend Abdul-Ningi.
Yeah.
So you also said that singular action, it's a pointer to the possibility of the Senate trying to hide something from the masses.
Yeah. You see, whatever you are not doing the proper way, it simply means there is something you are protecting.
Okay.
You understand? Whatever you are not doing the proper way, what does it cost? They may not even need to come to the Senate. It's just for the Senate management to don't invite the SEC, listen to Abdul-Ningi, collect his Ningi is still in the Senate. You understand? It won't be a clock to the progress of the investigation.
All right.
There is no one here that is not culpable. And that speaks volumes. Listen to what Peter Obi said. He said, see, the fact that you just summarily suspended the man that raised an alarm does not foreclose the issue. It does not mean that you didn't do the thing, that the thing did not happen. Just like Mr. Lekon said, proper investigation should be allowed to take place, to go on, and pursued to the logical conclusion so that people, Nigerians, will know the truth. Was Ningi just raising a false alarm? What did Ningi see? What happened? And then people will now, just like the Supreme Court decided, Senate will now decide what will be the appropriate discipline for
electoral commissioners for the sake of transparency and credibility in the system. Falana suggested that after eligible persons apply for the office of the INEC chairman and the Rex, the National Assembly should conduct a thorough screening of the 3 best candidates before one of them should be announced. The senior advocate, who is part of the movement for the electoral and judicial reforms that emerged after the Haskell Satumari Foundation annual colloquium, insisted that if a credible person emerges as INEC chairman through an open process, it will go a long way in the nation's election credibility. Falana, who said their interest is to ensure that Nigeria gets the best when it comes to election, urged the country to ensure that the Justice-Wise panel report on election should be fully adopted. Mr. Lekon, are you in support of Femi Falana's position that the position of INEC chairman and the electoral positions, yes, that it should be advertised? Are you in support of that?
More than 200% in support of it.
Okay.
They say he who paid the piper dictate the tune. How do you think the president of this country will appoint an INEC chairman or a particular political party jointly with their leadership, just because they are in the ruling party, appointed a particular INEC chairman, and at the end of the day, that INEC out? All those things could be going on underground. You can't expect somebody that you appoint that will now begin to go against you. Something happened before the last administration. There were some INEC commissioners that they even saw the picture where one of them put on the cap of a political party, put on the t-shirt of a political party. Some of them were members of political parties, and you are appointing those people. On that same Buhari then, a lady that was an appointee of Buhari was appointed INEC commissioner. People rose against, and it was killed at the Senate. So to me, what Mr. Falana is bringing now, this suggestion, I think is good. Let people apply for the job. But then, the danger there is this. If people apply for the job and you subject them to the Senate, which party has the majority in the Senate? the present Senate president was the microzone into his own and the microzone into his person by the president, sitting president. Will he do anything against the president? So whichever one, maybe Mr. Femfalana should sit down again, because all these, the analysis, the structure is trying to build or suggest, I think they are okay. But when we are still saying these people should be subjected to the approval
of certain
of the Senate, I don't think it would have been, instead of to go to the Senate, let President appoint his son to be a next chairman.
Oh, all right, Mr. Samuel.
Yes.
Let me have your take on this.
Okay, I actually, my respect for my brother, Mr. Lekon, has increased. Actually, he's you know, he's a chieftain of a particular political party, and talking like this gives me hope, at least hope for my own children. You know, I agree with Femi Falana, but I would like to say, let me come up with a suggestion that will help our democracy. I have said it, I've told my friends and the people who know me that the day we get the electoral system, the electioneering right, the day we get our electioneering right, we have it in the proper course, most of these economic woes will go away. Most of this problem of insecurity will go away.
Yes.
Because there is something about transparent and credible elections. You know, there is a relationship it has with good governance. So if Femi Falana and his ilk can continue to insist.
This screening process now, if it's still the same persons in power that might tell their people, apply for this position, I'm going to influence it. Apply for this, I will influence it from my end. You understand? When you look at the civil service structure in Nigeria and how people get employed within the civil service, it's usually, to a large extent in the country, it's usually influenced by who you know and who
A very good suggestion now, good plans now. But you still have to subject it to the approval of the Senate to enact a law approving this standard. Where will he, which Senate? It won't pass through. They will just flag it down.
Because the Senate will not approve what will not benefit them?
The Senate will not approve what will not benefit them. Today, sometimes ago, let me take you back. Sometimes ago, I was the national coordinator of a group they call National Youth Mandate for Elections.